I know a city full of people like you and I, a shiny town called Dancing Lights. And if the newsman makes your heart skip a beat, you're welcome here. Come over and help yourself. When every fool is a self-help salesman, making too much sense.
Hi guys.
Hello.
We're glad to have you back for another episode of PPJ.
Hey.
I'm Pumla, and this is
Prima.
and
This is Joel.
and the anonymous,
Alan.
but not so anonymous anymore. It seems people are guessing.
People saw you're back.
That's right. That wasn't me.
Oh, okay. It wasn't you.
That wasn't him.
Yeah, it wasn't you. I remember.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
How is Kampala? I've just come back.
Hey.
How is Uganda, guys?
Drop the
How's
footage
Uganda?
here.
How's
Someone
the
who doesn't
weather?
like
The weather we
traveling.
are kawa. It's dusty as per usual.
We were eating normal things
Can I get
here.
the potholes? You know, people come back from outside countries. Can I get the dust?
I know.
Why people can't skip time?
As if you went to the East African
2 weeks.
Federation. Excuse me.
2 weeks later,
What two? Even 2 days.
they can
My
say,
God, look at
say
Kampala
it.
Road. Wow.
Yeah,
How was it?
it was really nice. I had a really lovely time. I feel rested physically,
yeah.
but now I need to rest my liver and my stomach.
Hey.
Those are things I need to rest at this juncture.
You overindulged.
Over.
Overly indulged. Yeah.
It's okay. You are
Those
done
sins,
with
like I think those are the places where, you know how people say there's nothing wrong with drink. The Bible doesn't really say don't drink. God doesn't, but the one I did is the one the Bible was talking about.
Yeah, as in you
And the
overindulged.
eating, even the Bible has something about gluttony. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, as in what I indulged in is what they were
No, but
talking
let me
about.
ask, I thought overindulging, especially for alcohol,
Yeah.
is usually induced by groups, like when we're in a group of people. But for you can be 2 people like this and you turn.
Two people.
Paka.
For me, I'm not a social drink. I drink by myself. I enjoy my drink.
You enjoy just
Drink
like, yeah.
by myself.
She's just a
I'll just be
drink.
there in my compound. I'll open my bottle and I drink.
Yeah.
I have no.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
The
really a
voices
social
in our
drink.
head are enough. She's just like, whoa.
We are talking
Just
to each
here.
other. I
We're
know.
just
I'm
here,
social
entertained.
drinker.
Yeah. How have you guys been?
I've been fine. I'm thinking, has
Yeah, we're trying
anything
to
been?
think.
Nothing new this week, last week, since the last episode?
Since the last episode?
Not
really.
worthy?
Not worthy. What's been happening? No. I think I've been good. Same old. Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember your stories that I don't think I've seen.
I got a lot of comments from the last episode actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a few people talking about one that we talked about skin color. I think that was a big thing.
Okay.
It looks like the podcast, they appreciate the fact that we are of a darker hue.
Okay.
People don't see people of our texture. I
Okay.
suppose. I'm
Oh, is
high
that
on you.
so?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
people
comments were like,
commented
yeah,
about
that's a
colour,
really nice
yeah.
thing. I really like the way your skin color is. The talking also about how I think you were talking about the fact that it's okay for you to make changes to your body if you want to.
Yeah.
So without moralizing that whole thing of people who are lightening
Yeah.
their skin or getting,
Yeah.
plastic surgery. So I think that was there. And then the other comment I got
You know,
was,
I always feel, okay, let me not lie that I feel, but I tend to feel like maybe I have a responsibility to always disqualify or qualify,
Yeah,
not qualify,
yeah.
disqualify, to qualify those statements. Because, sometimes you think you're speaking to normal people. Yeah, listen, for me, when I come
Yeah.
on this podcast to speak, my assumption is that I'm speaking to rational, logical
They can
human beings.
contextualize
Yeah, that they
and-
can contextualize. Then you see someone in the comments, then you remember, you know what? There's a percentage there that is
That's
not
not
okay.
okay.
Yeah, but then I'm like, no, I can't speak to every different
Yeah.
person. Yeah, so for me, I would like to say, even as I think everybody, you can't
We try.
speak to every single
Yeah.
person. So I need you to understand that for me, when I'm speaking, I'm literally speaking to logical human beings, rational people of sound mind.
if you're not
There
one,
was-
please.
there
If
was-
you're not one, Banange, listen to Prima
Ah!
or Joe or Allah.
You have to humor. She has begun abusing us
I
since she
know.
came back from her
Ever
trip.
since she came-
It's okay. It's okay now that she was
You
so
guys are
flop.
inclusive, is what I mean. You're more inclusive, like you speak to a more diverse group of people. Yet for me, I'm just like, I hope you guys are okay, normal. But if you have some wires that are not
kindly, but urgently.
Kindly refrain, because I
refrain.
can't keep qualifying myself.
Yeah.
And you see, but sometimes you can. That's unhealthy. You have to first love your body.
Yeah.
I know all those things, but I'm assuming that when I'm speaking, you also know those things. I don't have to keep qualifying myself.
But
No, I
the
had to-
internet now just means you'll be decontextualized. Like at some point, a
This is
clip
true.
of you speaking will land somewhere in
That's
Nigeria,
true.
and they don't know you. They'll just say,
That
this is
is
useful
true.
for my point, and
That's
then they'll
true.
start jamming.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fool's errand to try and make sure you clarify for everyone. Just clarify in the
It's
room.
a fool's what?
Errand.
It's error or errand?
Errands. Running errands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
People
think
also
had
really
it.
appreciate Prima for that.
Fool's
but-
errand. Kubanga, sometimes you're like, it's a fool's errand.
it's a fool's errand. You just
You don't finish it because you're like, oh, is it errand? Oh, is it errand? So you're like, it's a fool's errand. Now we've had it's a fool's errand. Hey, I'm not a fool, but it's not errand.
It's time to get to brass tacks. What? Brass what?
I know, you're like, what are you saying?
Brass tacks.
And how was the other one that you were saying? You were going to say a third one?
The third one is just, I think, the discussion, like 4 or 5 people are wondering about the thing they talk about Northern Uganda.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think they are not from Uganda, and they were trying to say, what is the history behind that thing? So I think there's a certain contingent of the audience that is not Ugandan, like especially Kenyans, Rwandese people, some people who are even in, I think, the Emirates. So sometimes when you're clarifying, just when you're talking to an international audience,
I see.
friends,
Okay.
They give you a
But
name.
she did.
They give you a
yeah,
name.
no, you
yeah.
did a
Didn't
good
she
job. So like
clarify?
they appreciated
They
the
give you
fact
a
that in
name.
that
They gave me, because mine was a team, they gave you a Lego.
God, they gave
Some
me a
interesting
name.
name. Yeah, it was nice.
Oh my God, they gave me a name.
They give you a name. And
I'll
it is
check.
what name.
I'll check. Anyway, now that that's done, there was a high demand for us to keep starting these episodes with a game.
Now I try.
And I'm so happy to say that every time Prima hosts, you will have a game. Because it can never be me.
Yeah, they would dance. No, you can dance. I was like, no, I try.
I'll let you do
Yes,
it.
I told us you were what? That is what they call being matized.
Being what?
Matized.
You fill in the gap.
Hey! Because you were dancing that dance for him on the, I was like,
I bet I just put here, ta-ta-ta, matized. The people will fill it in.
They will
And then
understand.
put her dancing here on the side.
Yeah.
What was the dance again?
People just don't understand. You see, I tell you, I'll lean into today's topic. People don't understand
Oh,
that
gosh.
some of us are fueled by, like, it is not necessarily that I am matized.
Yeah.
It is that's me fuel for my fire. I need it. I need a dose of vitamin D. I need it. So if you see me low and not happy and not behaving
So you're the
properly,
people that they talk about at work, you know, where they say that boss, she's annoyed. They're like,
I'm
she
the
just
one.
needs to get laid. You're the one.
yeah, but people never talk about me like that.
Yeah, because you're always
because
late.
I have supply.
Yeah.
Constant, consistent supply.
It's both
Actually, the
constant
only
and
times that
consistent.
my problem is when that it was not good. Now I can come and be a bitch.
You can reel. Like, it really
Yeah.
disturbs you like that.
Yeah.
So those days when she's
My
abusing
blue
you.
balls, blue beans. Actually, for women they say blue beans. My blue bean is terrible. So when you see me, I'm annoyed. I just lash out for no reason.
Members
What?
of the Christian
It is because the supply is of poor quality.
Members of the non-Christian
Members
community
of the
also.
Christian community. Please. Just relax. Breathe in and out. When discussing more
10 minutes in, blue bean.
Mama has a blue beans.
Blue
What
beans. That's the
a
quote.
Okay, blue balls for men, blue bean for women.
That is it really, or you created it?
Him,
Why can't it be black beans? Let's continue. Let's walk away. Why is it that color?
Sickness is blue. I'm feeling blue.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's blue bean. The bean is not well. Guys, I want to tell you a story.
You guys, every time Pumla hosts, it's okay. You're
First of all, you're the most chaotic person on this planet.
That's true.
I want us
That's
to
true.
agree
You're an enabler
that
of
you're the
chaos.
most
Yeah.
chaotic person.
Human being.
Yeah.
And please, comment section,
Yeah.
please let us know. Because me, I used to think I had Kavuyo, but I have never met chaos like Prima's chaos.
Honorable members.
I know.
As soon as you hear that, you
Honorable
know what's
member.
coming.
You know, the black bean. Wow.
The black bean is over. So I wanted to let you know. I was having a conversation with a colleague of mine. Not colleague. You know, you see colleagues, honorable members.
With a friend.
With a close acquaintance, actually. And he was speaking about, he had just come back from the UK. Allow me to name drop, guys.
Yeah.
It was Benon of Swangs Avenue.
Okay.
Hi, Benon. And he had just come back from a wedding in the UK with his partner, Julius. That guy is
His partner business?
Business,
Okay.
yeah. They are the owners of Swangs.
Okay.
They own it as
business.
two.
You know when you say his partner,
This means business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okwegata. Is this where we are? Okwegata. He's
suppose.
continuing to do it. Do you think he understands Okwegata?
No,
No,
I'm
I'm trying to make sure the international audience understands.
So, collaboration. So they had just come back from a wedding in the UK and of a friend of theirs. And when he came back, he was speaking in such awe about the wedding.
Yeah.
For a typical Ugandan or African to speak about a wedding, they're talking about the glitz and the glamour and the deco and how everything was and the cake, the floating cake that came from above.
There is a person in the cake.
Inga, there is someone in the cake about to
perform
jump
a
out.
song.
Yeah, going to perform a song. He was so awed by how simple.
Yeah.
First, what are you doing?
That can dance.
Which one is
That one of the old
In
one.
our...
That one. Sorry. Go ahead.
So he was awed by the total opposite of how simple and intimate and functional the wedding celebration was. No one changed dresses. Everybody knew everybody. Almost the bride and groom knew everybody personally by name and had a relationship with each and every person there.
Yeah.
Their reception was in a pub.
Yeah.
Random pub. And guys were just having a good time jazzing, like how you can go
Yeah.
for,
Like a hangout.
like a hangout.
Yeah.
And he was really talking about it. And this has always stuck in my head. There are some thoughts we have that we can't fully express because that some of these things are so culturally embedded that you can't even know where to start this conversation from. But so our discussion sparked off the conversation that we're going to have today, which is practices that we need to consider releasing because do they really serve us? And I'll start with that one.
Yeah.
One practice I think Ugandans and maybe Africans at large need to release because it does not serve us anymore is extravagant weddings that cannot be afforded by immediate family, and subsequently the request for contributions from external parties to fund said weddings. And mine is mostly, actually
30 max.
discuss.
Attack.
30 max.
Let me
max.
start you off.
Yeah.
Mine is mostly maybe 2 or 3.
How old is
main
Venom?
things.
No, give me an
What-
age. No. Okay, age range. Because in my head,
Between-
I think that this
I
opinion.
don't know, to be fair, and I don't want
Yeah. Not okay.
to
No.
guess
So,
on
no. So in my, really, where I'm going to,
Yeah.
it's not to attack that
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
I'm just saying that I think that thought process, because you know where he's going with that, and
Yeah.
being impressed.
Yeah.
I think it comes with a certain age
I agree.
and a certain.
I agree.
You
For
get
sure.
yeah. Because how old were you when you got married?
23.
Would you have wanted the wedding of the pub?
Yes, I did, but my family refused it.
Okay.
If anything, I wanted to go to the registrar and just
Yeah.
go on honeymoon if I could avoid it and
You've
go
asked
for
you've asked the person who
Yeah.
So that's why I'm telling you that for me, it's always been my feeling.
Yeah.
But there was so much pressure, and I think we can also discuss this age issue.
Yeah.
That when you get married younger, you don't have the sort of
The voice.
mental independence or the voice to voice out what you want if it is against what you know are your parents' wishes. I didn't have any money for my wedding, so that's why I tell people you must be financially independent.
Yeah.
Because if you're not financially independent, people will string you around. You will have to play by the piper's tune all the time.
Yeah.
People make decisions. There's so much power in finances that if somebody says, "But it's I have money, I'm going to do what I want,"
Yeah.
you can't say anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing much you can say.
How many people were at your wedding?
700 exactly.
Wow. If you were to have had what you wanted, how many would have been there? Considering the kind of who you are and what.
So this is the problem. At 23 years old, you still have, I cannot say the word close acquaintance. Everybody is your friend. You still have all your attachments. That's why there were 700. Because remember, weddings of family, weddings are, usually the man is the one who has big mockers. My man was 10 years my senior. So he had already dropped people along the way.
Yeah.
His family, They are not that big and many. They are from Chisoro. They are not that many.
Yeah.
My family has too many people.
Yeah.
So I tell you, our wedding, it was my people that were more.
Yeah. Wow.
That is why I did not want the wedding. I didn't want that celebration because who am I removing from my list? And if I could have had a discussion with my parents and said, you guys, and with my husband,
Yeah.
and said, Pana, do we have to do this? Do we have to have so many people? Can't we just go to the registry or to church? Because for him, his belief system was church.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even that I did for him.
Yeah.
Because that was his belief system.
Yeah.
Me, I wanted to go to the registry. We did that, then we went and hosted the 700. And guess what, even with the 700 people, we still had chairs stacked for just in case.
Yeah.
Because I knew
Yeah.
people were coming.
Anyone.
It was New Year's. So people
I
wanted
remember.
to party. We
Yeah.
had fireworks. Imagine we paid for fireworks.
Yeah. And I had to go to the
Let
police
me tell you,
to get...
I know it was my wedding, but I was so disgusted
Yeah.
when I walked into the celebration. You know, like brides are like, oh, wow. I was just so disgusted by the extravagance. It was just so overwhelming. I was just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I was seeing half the people, my parents' friends. And this is one problem. Because I didn't have money, we were using my small friends' money. My parents, of course, contributed and their family. But the financial burden and strain at that time, financial burden, emotional burden, and that societal pressure of this is what is the status quo, so you must meet it and do the same. And it's not even about just a wedding. It is about how are you starting your marriage?
Yeah.
With nothing.
Yeah.
If you're contributing, contribute for me
Towards
to start
my home.
my home, my
Yeah.
marriage. If that's what we are going to do as Africans, and we want to contribute towards the marriage. Why are we contributing towards the wedding? Me, that's my real issue.
I'm a bit... that argument is nuanced for me.
Argument.
Definitely.
So I think that there are things we need to drop, right? First of all, service providers, assisters, people who do deco of 90 million, 80 million. Like, I'm like, are you mad?
Yeah, that's affordable.
Like, are you
that's on the lower end
crazy?
now.
Are you? I cannot believe that drama. Like, my deco in 2016 was it was 8 million, but I was just like, when she told me 8 million, I felt the other side. I was like, how many
What
million?
year did you get married? Remind us.
2016.
2016.
And the entire wedding
That
was
was a good.
yeah, imagine it was 2016 and our entire wedding. I remember when we did the math, cost 45 million.
45.
Only 45 million, of which that 45
Very
million.
nice wedding too.
Yeah,
And you
and
got
it
married
was
at how old?
I was 29.
29.
We were both
You had
29.
medical some company lit, but it wasn't really.
Yeah, it wasn't really. So for me, from my experience, our entire wedding was funded by our friends. And it's not that we called meetings. People were
Wanted
really
to.
We were
people were
throwing
so
it at them.
excited about us.
Yeah.
First of all, I enjoyed preparing for our wedding. I enjoyed our wedding.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, it was so much fun. Like, we'd go for the meetings and we would have fun. It wasn't those things of immediately you enter chairman's bag, like that stuff where you feel on pressure. You get like our meetings were hangouts. Like, we used to have so much fun. People
Fun.
couldn't wait.
But I think another thing is because you're the same age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are your friends.
Yeah. So I think there
So you
is a
have mutual
certain thing
friends.
about community that shouldn't go away from weddings.
Okay.
I think that there is a certain for me, I felt the community, I felt my friends, and even them when they are getting married, even now, even when people are older and they don't want to have wedding meetings, because I felt that people were really there for me. I always feel like, I know this is a time that's very financially in demanding, so I'll give you a contribution, whether you're having meetings or not, whether you're inviting me or not, I'll give you a contribution, because I feel that there is something about community that shouldn't be taken away.
I agree.
Also, we think as children, we're not thinking as parents. Navacho.
Yeah.
Tesha's wedding.
Yeah.
There are people where you'll be like, Tesha is getting married.
Yeah.
This person cannot. They won't be one.
No.
Wait,
If that person has not
You
been,
know
wait, no. But
if that person has not been, and that's the point I'm trying to make,
okay.
that when I look through at my son's wedding,
Yeah.
I must see people who have been there for him.
What about people who
Even
have
if
been
they
there
are
for
100,
you?
no, that's not my business. Who has been there for me and not there for my child?
There should be. No. What I mean.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No. Not that. But there are people that, in being there for you, keep you grounded enough to be there. You understand, to be there for your child.
No.
I mean, honestly, I
That
feel like,
person, I swear to you, I agree that those people do exist, but I will not force those people on my son's wedding.
Yeah.
I will not. It means even you cannot expect to be invited for my son's wedding because you're there for me. It is not my wedding. It is my son's wedding.
For me, I understood my dad, right? I understood my dad. I think he invited in the 100 people he invited. He should have invited like 50.
Why?
But
You understand? Like he kept adding. He invited more people than he should have. But I think that there are people who have been there for him in so many ways. That
I know.
in so many ways that there is no way his child can get married and they don't come. So I feel that it's nuanced. Like as opposed to having 700 people at a wedding, weddings should now have fewer people, and those few people can be 300, 350. But the problem is now how the service providers have manipulated. Just have a party, because you can have a party of 300 people. Me, I've had parties of 300 people, and they didn't cost me the money of a wedding. You get, let's just have a normal person come and do food, come and do that.
You know those people actually. I remember I saw some as if I'm on TikTok, but I think it was one of those. I mean, I'm not on TikTok, but it must have been on TikTok that was sent to me. And someone was complaining, a makeup artist was complaining that she had been manipulated by the bride into doing basic makeup to pay basic price.
That's what
that why didn't the makeup the bride
say
tell her that she was a bride so that
yeah.
they can double half.
That's what I tell people.
That's
I'm
bad
like, don't say
manners.
it's a wedding.
No, I was just
That's
because
bad manners.
the thing that you're picking up from what she's saying, and this is how I feel.
Yeah.
I think you're collecting the social expectation that those people will have. You don't have that pressure.
No,
Like if you can try and like, I can't believe that you want to put me in
I don't
wedding.
care.
What she's collecting
care.
is the fact that there are probably people in your life who will expect
Yeah.
to have to be part of it because they know that's the norm.
Actually,
And
I think it's people
I'm going
in
to show
Prima's
up.
life who will
Because-
care. Me, mine.
Yeah.
I'm
not calling.
Because think about
I'm
like
just
your
thinking
dad.
about people, because it's the same argument that we had for black tax. I don't think that when it comes to parents, we ever fully know the story, because it's just African parents. They're not like that. They never fully tell you the story.
What that
but
person
I think
did.
that there are people that will have been in my father's life. I've told you, they're definitely, he invited more people than he should
No,
have.
leave your father. You
Yeah.
know what? Actually, I think now let us start qualifying.
Yeah.
When we speak about things like black tax, when we speak about things like changing culture and tradition norms, we are not speaking to people, to baby boomers. We are not. We can explain our parents away. They didn't have people in podcasts. That's the reason we are here. To speak to people who are not yet there. So that when the time comes for them to have children, now we are speaking to people 50 years and below. When the time comes for them to have children, getting married, we are appealing to you that can we have this conversation to tell you that Prima, I love you, you're my colleague here, let's say on the podcast, but it is not a guarantee because my son does not know your name, so can we be okay with that? I'll give you an example. I have a very close cousin. She's actually our first cousin, so she's like how you know those older cousins, older siblings who you can even say are like your aunties. So she has 2 children who got married over a period of a year. And they didn't invite me. I'm very close to my cousin, the older cousin.
But you don't know the children.
But the children were raised abroad. And even when they come here, they come to our home and we see them and we are really close to them. But when they grew older, they just stopped coming. So I have not talked to those 2 children in over a decade. She literally just sent me pictures to show me Angel's and Lutu's weddings. And I was so happy for them. I even wanted to send her a contribution. She was not telling, and I liked the way she brought it up. She didn't come in to say that.
But I'm sorry,
actually, I think she had done that for other people. For other relatives. That you know what, we wanted to have this wedding, but with more people, but we couldn't invite all of you. The children couldn't afford it. They wanted this number, and the people who were intimate and close to them. She had to explain to your father's generation. Might say her singers, her whatever. But to me, she just sent picture and said, "Can you imagine Angel and Lutu got married?" Because she updates me. But they don't know me like that.
Agreed.
And I was like, if people could do that here. I don't see what the problem is.
I think it will take some time. I agree with you.
Let's not talk about our generation.
Yeah.
There are things which we cannot now change the mindset
of ours and our
I'm
parents.
talking to Prima and Joel and Alan and people of our age group and older who are now just having children right now.
No, but let me tell
And
you,
I think it's in those people still.
And no, but for me,
it's definitely still.
Even with us, it's there.
I think that, man, for me, I'm always fighting for this community thing.
I agree with you, but what is community?
So community,
700
no. Yeah, community is not 700 people, but also First, me, I've told you my problem is those silly service providers who make the weddings.
I think let's talk about those.
But you see, those people
they are
within
taking
the same
advantage.
community we're
Yes.
in. If I was a service provider and I see that the attitudes are such that,
Yes.
I'll
take
how can I
advantage
just
of
get
it.
in auntie, uncle? I know.
Yeah.
This is your bill.
Yeah.
Because you're going to pay it. Just
Yeah.
like someone starting a kindergarten is going to
Exactly.
go, you're going to pay.
Yeah.
But you're going to
So
pay.
I look at them as they're just reacting to
Yeah.
how we value these things.
Yeah, because
If you say
price
it's
is
not
dictated
important,
by
you-
demand.
you're the one
No,
who
but
cannot
no, for
take
me, all
yourself.
I'm saying is that let's be happy. Let's have a party. Let's be happy. Let's have a party where the people where we're having a good time. You know, also where you go to a wedding and then there's someone they're reading it, then they're like this, then they're eyeing you. I'm like, members, it's a wedding. Let's be happy. Let the people who should come. Let's
Also, I
manage.
need to let you guys know that Prima is a very popular person. Andrew is a very popular person.
Okay.
So when you guys were starting your meetings, I had no doubts that
Yeah.
people were going to show up. But at one of your meetings,
Yeah.
there was someone going, I don't think I could have a meeting like this.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the way we relate with people, we think it's normal. Do you know how many people liked you? How many people liked Andrew? How many lives you've been in? You're very gregarious. There are people who are quiet.
Gregory.
Gregarious. There are
What
people who
does
are much
luxurious mean?
like you're very friendly, you're outgoing, like you're easy to get along with. So I think people, you even have the option of saying, I don't want you to come.
Yeah.
The others were like, who's going to come for my thing?
Yeah, that's
Who's going to come for my thing? Now, I think when you say that
Chopper,
community
you're right.
thing, I think it came from, if you're living in the village, these are people you deal with every day.
Yeah.
You're doing things communally. So when you're getting married, of course they're going to be part. But here we've carried that one section of, hey, we all contribute for the wedding. Then I start bringing my workmates,
But you see,
contribute to my wedding.
Yeah.
Like, but
Isn't
my relationship with you is
that
different.
problem even, there are people who I know that are organizing weddings now, right? And there are people they would love to invite.
But they can't.
But they are not going to invite them because of the extravagance around weddings.
Okay.
So what I think
the
it's-
extravagance, or they can't afford to have all
The
of
person
they
who's
can't
paying
afford, they
is the one
can't
who's bringing
afford, they
their
can't
people.
afford
Okay.
because it's too extravagant. Like they want to have decor and they're like, I cannot pay for decor of a
Okay,
room
I
that
get
takes
you,
200
I get
people.
you.
Let me have 50.
I
But then
get
you're like, there are these other 50 people that I really want. So for me, I think that the sweet spot is you invite the people that you want to be at the thing and that means something to you, right? But hopefully the society is also, you understand, like we can manage the costs around it so that it's a party.
Yeah.
It's a party for us to celebrate. So you're not saying, you're not cutting your like coat according to what the money is saying. You're like, my God, we can't. You're like, I really like. I start hiding from you. You understand? Like I start
See,
hiding.
like
from
your principle was you wanted to have a good time.
Yeah.
I think your point is people want to have a good time, but it has to look a certain way.
But imagine like Joe.
I have to get
Yeah.
my cars.
Yeah.
I make sure, you know,
Yes,
those,
yes, yes,
I must
yeah.
have these cars. I must
Yeah,
have
that's
this
the problem,
decor.
yeah.
I must be here.
There is a societal pressure that sources for what is that, for unhealthy competition.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And then everybody
Keeping up
trying
with the Jones.
to,
Oh, I now need to match what
everyone
the other
trying
wedding
to
was like.
outpace the other one,
Yeah,
the one that
yeah.
they saw. And it also, what it also does is, it now becomes about now you want to impress.
Yeah.
And on top of impressing, you have personal values.
Yeah.
Like for me, my personal value is intimacy.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to express that at my wedding.
Yeah.
But I really like intimacy.
Yeah.
I'd like us to have a conversation. I can't go to a place that has loud music. I've always been like that. It's not an age issue.
Yeah.
So I could not even express who I really am.
Yeah.
because
Your
there
parents
was
were like
even some
intimacy.
what is this? Even my decor of, I remember my decor so when it was 5 million Uganda shillings.
Yeah.
Even my close friends were so, they gossiped about it.
Yeah. Which was what?
It was fake.
Eh,
Yeah. Which it was compared to other standards.
When
But
you
for me,
were-
I was
when
okay
was
with
it?
it.
2005.
No. 2007.
That's 20.
Have you had 2005 then about Joe? Like no, 2007. Like really? What? Same.
We didn't have smartphones then.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
guys were so confused. Do you know that I was in the
Wow, no, but
I was in the
like-
bathroom when the decor person brought my bouquet.
Yeah.
And when I came back out, she had said, "Oh, the bouquet is here." So I told her I'll give it to my bridesmaids.
Yeah.
They gave to my bridesmaids, and do you know that they sent my bouquet back?
They were like, it's fake.
That it's so fake. How can you hold such a bouquet? She had sent me a picture. I had approved the bouquet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you couldn't be bothered.
Me, I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, you just wanted a good.
I just wanted
an intimate.
one of my best friends. I don't hold this against anyone.
Yeah.
I have 3 holes.
Yeah.
Here. So I always put I dress
Yeah.
my ear holes. She asked me, for your special day, do you really want to have all those earrings?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
This is who I am.
This is who I am.
This is what I do
But you
every
see,
day.
if people keep talking to you and you don't have a strong center to do
Yeah.
what
Question
you want,
yourself.
Yeah.
you start to question yourself.
Yeah.
You
What
see,
you want.
so much as I want to speak to people and tell them that you guys please do what you want, I also cannot pretend that I'm not aware that people are influenced by society.
Yeah.
So I feel like I also have a responsibility to talk to society and say, Manage, leave your friends. Don't
Yeah.
project what you
Yeah.
think. And by the way, Prima, I also want to side with you because there are people for whom individually they just want a big party.
Yeah.
And for them, that's what makes them happy.
Yeah.
That one is okay.
Okay, that is not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
No, not
I
as
thought
a-
some people that's for them. It's
Not a big party, a
I want to
meaningful,
celebrate
yeah.
my thing. Like this is a milestone.
Yeah.
I want to celebrate it with everybody. I know people must be there. But also that one.
Yeah.
As long as it is you who is, it
Yeah.
is your money.
Yeah.
Hey, our PPJA audience, we'll just like to let you know that we are hosted by the Grand Canary Hotel. It's situated here on Bukoto, Ntinda Road, right opposite B Plus, where there is almost nothing you can afford, and next to Victoria Medical Center, for those of you who are looking for health services. I know that they have, would just like to let you know what they have. They have a lunch buffet, right?
That is right, Pumla. They've got a local buffet. What's wrong with people? They've got a local buffet that happens from 12 to 3 p.m. every Friday.
Yeah.
Come treat yourself to, listen to this, a hearty spread
Alright.
of authentic local dishes.
Never had this
Freshly prepared, full of flavor. Come on, what's full of flavor? Full of flavor, served with love. It's the perfect lunch every time here at Canary Hotel. Please come through.
Yes.
Yeah, we've
Come
said
through
that
and have a
before.
great meal. I also know they have a quiz night.
Oh yes. The other day I was talking with my friend and we were talking about how Uganda has no activities for people who are dating. Not every day eating. Not every day. As people just go eating
Yeah.
and what else do people do in Uganda?
Drink boozing.
Boozing, eating and boozing. Not every day eating and boozing. These guys have a quiz night every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. So come and enjoy with your lover. There's some offers. So
For
there's
lovers?
for lovers. A bucket Pumla told us, "Mami, she can't come because she will really be competitive." So if you're
Yeah.
competitive,
Yeah,
but
too
will you come?
competitive.
You come, code.
I'll come if we come together as a
Okay,
group.
okay. So we'll come
Yeah.
together. Never know, one of those
Must always
Thursdays
come
will
together.
Yeah, one of those. You're so weak. Anyway, a bucket of 5 local beers is at 30k. Pizza plus 4 beers is 50k. You can buy 1 cocktail, get 1 free. So lovers that are coming on top of quiz night, you're getting something, and then there are some few things to be won, like a bottle of UG. Lemon and ginger to be won by the winning team. So come for the quiz night. We're going to be here for one of them.
Yeah,
over
so
the
come
time.
through at Canary Hotel for the lunch buffet, which
The
is
lunch
on one
buffet,
every
which is
Friday.
every
Every
Friday,
Friday.
from 12 to 3 p.m. It's just 35k. You
Yes.
get great food.
And the quiz night
Quiz night every Thursday 7:30 p.m.
is come, bring a friend for a meal and for some games.
Yeah, until the PPJ sent you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not discount code, but PPJ is.
Yeah, you will pay the full price, but tell them we sent
Okay, so now, guys, back to the episode. Alan, what is your contribution to that? I want to get away from this so that other people can share
it's
their.
been like 30 minutes of this
Yeah,
wedding.
No, this is the
That's
wedding
a hot
meeting.
topic.
Yeah.
So we are in a wedding
Yeah, we're the
meeting
wedding
now.
meeting now.
And I have two things.
Auntie Joel's
The first
wedding
one,
meeting.
most of my friends who I know, they know they have Kasiki Kuchara intro.
Yeah.
So they can, the village people can all be squeezed
In those
into that one.
Oh, yes.
Then they go ahead and have very intimate weddings of
The
like
white
50
wedding.
people, 80. And you know, like I called you people for the intro. So we did, because intro is also like a wedding
Yeah.
of sorts.
By the way,
So
I
that
think
helps,
that's
like,
such a
deal-
healthy
yeah, that deals,
compromise.
like, with
That's
the-
community as well. You've now
Yeah.
satisfied the community box, don't you think?
And
I
honestly,
don't subscribe to the
Oh, you
tradition.
don't?
I'm like, I've never won a moenda in my life. Never
Right
in my
today.
life have I won a suka.
You're
But I
touching
don't
the
even know how
topic that I was
to.
going
I don't
to
even
get
know
on.
how to hold it. Now I'm walking out as the Munyoro who is going to get married. I'm like, they even like you've won it badly. Like,
It's like we wear a costume of our own
Thank
cultures.
you. Well,
Like in
But
this
that one is-
small
we
event,
wonder-
you're going to dress like this because
Yeah.
this is how Manyoro did it.
but we wonder whose
So
fault
foreign
that
to you.
is. You who
That's
didn't
the problem
engulf in
with
your
us.
culture or the people forcing it on. The second one
yeah.
is parents who take over their children's weddings. That's something I want us to leave
A
behind.
lot of them are their wedding.
I attended the wedding.
I have
The groom and the bride had only 15 people, and the other 500, 600
That's crazy.
were the father's
The father
people.
probably funded that
And he
wedding.
even in his speech,
Money.
in his own speech, he said, now the boy, you come. The groom and bride gave their speech before the father. So their time is done
Yeah,
with their
that's
friends,
what we did.
and now he took over the whole
My dad
thing.
overtalks.
Yeah, that's something I want us to leave behind. Parents, those who watch PPJ,
take over
listen,
your
and just like how
parents'
Pumla was saying, like Teja's wedding is Teja's wedding, right?
Yeah.
Talk to your kids, find out what they
Future
want.
parents,
And even if you're rich and wealthy, just give them what
Let
they
them
want,
do
because
what
it's
they
their
want.
day
Yeah.
that they are going to actually remember. Like graduation is yours, everything is yours, but like wedding, let's the wedding.
Because
be for
I think the
bride.
tradition here that I think we're trying to release as well is that weddings are for the parents. Me, I think the only thing that is for the parent that I can agree is graduation. Nothing else. Even that one, I have some skeptical, but because they paid my fees, I know it's my right to be educated, but we can allow for only that one. But the wedding is mine. I'm the one going to be in the thing by myself. Yeah. I'm the one going to toil and suffer and kuguma. Are you going to kuguma with me?
Do you know that's a very modern concept?
Kuguma.
That the wedding is yours and the marriage is yours.
It is.
Because that's the thing we're trying to break now. So it should be obvious to us that it's going to be very difficult. Because when my father was getting married, it was not my wedding. It was like, I'm getting married. The family now comes together. How are we going to help you? And then it's like, how can you embarrass us as a family and you go out there and have a katakataka wedding? They'll say, you're not going to get married this year. Save the money. Because you're going to reflect back on us. Now, we might not have that as a reflection of like, it's just my wedding. But I can think about for our parents, they're saying, do you understand what that means for me?
And that's why we're not talking to baby boomers.
My gosh. So now
we're
looking
not
at
having
people
this
who are going to
conversation with
become,
baby boomers.
who are going to become parents. Like you pick from what you learned. So because it's the force of inertia, this is how we've always done it. What you're saying is find a new way of doing it.
Now we are PPJ, we are the stopgap measure. We are breaking generational curses and problems. Yeah. That is our job. We don't just come to this podcast to just talk and air out our views. Yeah. We come to change mindsets so that we can change behavior. Yeah. That is it. Now because we don't, this conversation is not about weddings. Joel, can you please share with us?
He's going to
practice.
He's going to say quadrulas.
Proposals.
Proposals.
We're just going to go down the value chain. I'm tired of these proposals. No, it's something that you mentioned, which is close. That's just to put the thing out and say what practices don't serve us anymore. Yeah. It's the whole thing of, well, this is how they phrased it, African wear. African events where you're then forced to all dress in that African way that you know. You know that African thing, you have some kitenje added to your thing, and then you say, now we are having African Day. Like, you're already African, what is the issue? What are you trying to hunt for? Now, the one I want to bring forward is, on this continent, there's only one government that allows for a traditional, African traditional religion to open the ceremony.
For which African traditional
for parliament, for your parliament or for whatever your ruling body is, usually you have someone presiding, someone from a religious background. You have a Muslim or you'll have someone from the church. It's only in South Africa that they make an allowance
it had to be South
Africa. Your African indigenous religion to open up parliament.
And how do they
do it? Now, when I first saw it, I went,
what do they
I haven't thought about
what
this.
do they do?
No, they have like a lady who come out and then talk about why the people that were here, what we represent, let's keep quiet and honor the ancestors and their wishes, look at the descendants that are coming, and sort of speak to
us, we are like, I chase it. It will not take over me. I refuse it in Jesus' name.
Exactly.
Now, follow me. Whatever you say. What are you saying?
The thing that I find interesting for me is that if I look at the way we practice religion, not all of us, the way we practice religion, it is that the default is we will have the Abrahamic faith, but we don't realize how much it is mixed with our African faiths. So for instance, that thing of I bind and I throw it into the dark waters, you will not find a Mzungu saying I bind, throw it into the dark waters, because their cultural setting and their religion merged differently. Ours, it's almost like the devil is equal to God. Anything that, I shall not watch that, it is evil, I bind it and I take it down. Now a lot of that has been transmitted into things that are of our origin. Like, I think I know what Toro religion is, but I don't. I've only seen it through the lens of what I was taught in school. The lens of, that's African traditional society. So where it shows up now is when you're going for a kwanjula. When you're going for some event, that's when you put on the costume. And true to what you're saying, it feels so foreign to you, and yet you are the descent of those people. So who's carrying that culture?
Every time I wear a gomesi, by the end of the day, it's like this. It's talking.
I should give you my guy who sews the thing, and you just wear.
You just wear
what they call it. It has a name.
So like the real
You
practices,
just
which
win.
are supposed to be how you get married, how you live in the home,
Yeah.
they almost show up only when you're going to have the event, and so they seem you've just brought it up for this day,
Yeah.
and then you throw it back into
Back
a
into
suitcase.
suitcase.
I think we should find a way of
So, Joe-
incorporating it back into our lives, because right now it is sequestered. It is on the side. You only do it
Okay.
when
It is what?
we're coming for Africa Day.
It is
Put on
what?
the shirt.
What
Oh,
did
you're
you say?
coming for a
It is
wedding.
what?
Not on the side?
Sequestered.
Sequestered. Sequestered.
I've never had that word in my
What
life.
is
Yes.
sequestered?
Sequestered, like when the court calls you and says we've sequestered you, or pulling you out
No,
from
we
where
don't
you
know.
are and put it aside.
Spell it.
SEQUEST.
Sequestered.
Oh, it's
Okay.
Q.
RAD. Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah, but my point is, if I'm Ugandan, if I am a Mutoro,
Yeah.
right now the only way that I show that is maybe with my impako, maybe speaking out of
Aye.
the language
Or to
or
be
showing it on
secluded.
my papers. But in my everyday life, I am practically a Western
Is that
individual.
realistic? Is that realistic?
So what I'm saying is
Is what
because of
realistic?
our
Is it
practice.
like what is your point? Because your
So my point
would
is
go-
we look at it as if our culture was frozen in time. It is frozen that the way Wanyoro dress is that way in which people used to dress back then.
Yeah.
So because of that, you say, oh, my culture, I wear this thing to signal it. But you're a Munyoro.
Yeah.
What you do is Nyoro culture,
Yeah.
basically. But you're not thinking about it because for you, being a Munyoro is you wear that dress or you speak that language. So we've frozen our culture somewhere.
Give me examples of
and
how
left it
that
here.
would be.
So
What
for
would
instance,
that
when
look
you're
like?
seeing like our kingdoms, when they're doing something, they must dress a certain way. They will say specifically that this is how we dress, we wear these hides. Now it makes it seem like forever, that's how you guys will dress to preserve your culture.
Yeah. So what
Whereas
would they
culture
do
is
better?
supposed to be dynamic, it's supposed to be changing. So if you look at the kings of England, they're not dressing like the kings of England used to dress back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
That has grown and changed because it's an active part of their everyday life.
I've understood.
Now
My
for
question
us,
is how? How
I
would we
think
do it?
practically is like how. What does that mean for you? Does it mean that, for instance, you can change what you're going to wear when you're going for an introduction? You don't have to wear, what is it, the mushanana, whatever.
Because
the thing
the thing is that wouldn't it be abandoning it? Because the truth is that we've moved on, right? We've moved on.
That's
Yeah, so
true.
effectively,
moved on.
I
So-
should keep
so
it as a
unless-
museum.
It is. So what can we do to, okay, like for example, I would say that the one thing that identifies you culturally, first things first, is language,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if maybe there is that thing of teach children their traditional languages,
As
maybe
an example,
something
like in
Yeah.
school, why
Yeah.
is it that they used to say, don't speak vernacular?
they
That was a big
shouldn't. They
thing. So
shouldn't.
now
Do
that
you
one
know
is
how
starting
it
to
is
be
when we
eroded.
separate?
Yeah. No, but that one Bambi for vernacular, I think it's just that we must appreciate where it actually came from. Like people were trying to teach us a new language,
Yes.
and many of us, because our first language is our local languages,
Yeah.
they were just trying to teach us. So
Yeah.
the less you speak the language you know, and the more you speak the one you're trying to learn, you learn the language. So that one I can kind of understand, though it's also nuanced.
Yeah.
It has a
Yeah, the
it's a
practical
double-edged
sense of
sword.
how do you bring together all these tribes? Obviously, like we need one common language. But the tone that was set of, oh, that person is speaking, when are you speaking
Luganda.
vernacular? You're in dorm. You're just doing your own
yeah.
thing. and
Yeah,
like,
that should
why?
be. Because you guys
The
used to
thing
wear
about your
socks,
hair.
you know.
Yeah,
As we
no,
would
they
wear
stopped it.
Oh, they
used
stopped.
to.
Hey, Gaya, I'm sorry,
Magungas.
Namagunga, they
Yeah.
used to
It
wear
came
socks.
from.
Was
That's
the
we
queen
had
of
a
the-
bone.
Eh?
A bone.
They'll give you a bone.
A skull of a cow.
A thing like this
tied
and a
around
bone.
the
I've
neck
heard
and
of
they
those
walk around
schools
with it.
also. where they
You know,
go
we're
around.
traumatized as people. So for me, it's that bit of
Okay.
let's stop. There's such demonization of things that were ours, and yet I don't think we know them enough to even be rejecting them, because I don't know what the religious practice of say, okay, how should we pray before a meal? What should we do when someone passes on? I have some idea because of those are things that are practiced, but they are kept almost in a certain
Yeah.
secluded place.
So
They don't
sort
come
of
into my
contextualizing
real life.
culture.
I don't own it enough to be able to say I can change it. I don't feel I have the right to change it because I don't know it. I
This is
simply
true.
visit it every now and then. So my children, I'm going to teach them the same thing that my parents taught. They will teach them. So forever it will be like Toro culture is this. You dress this way. This is what you did. And all we're doing is recalling a specific point in time. One of the things my dad said, for instance, was, why do you think when colonialism was happening, a lot of the Wananchi were embracing it? Because there were some freedoms that they were getting which they could not enjoy under the way the cultural thing is. So even you start saying culture is always good, but there were some things that were really bad.
Yeah,
There's a
That's
reason
true.
people were
There are some
embracing new things. They were like, no,
stuff.
we
They're
don't
like,
want it.
This
Yeah.
is looks like a good
so
alternative.
when we keep it that way, we make it seem like everyone was living a specific way, or everyone was happy with the way things are. And so we don't own our culture, we sort of play our culture.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that one, I
was mine.
think, over time, as we get, as the generations die out, it's going to inevitably change.
I think so too. And I also
That's one I
that,
think because even now,
It's already starting.
it's already starting because when I was younger, I always wore a gomesi to a function, and then when I grew, now I have to do it, but I'm not passing that down to anybody. Yeah, I don't see my nieces do it. I don't see my nephews do it. I only see them doing it at cultural. Yeah, then even that way, even now the way the gomesi is tailored has been changed. So there's going to be an evolution. You see, I think culture should be progressive. If more people are saying that every time I go for a Kwanjuna, my gomesi is like this by the end of it. Is that why don't you change it? Why don't we find a way to make it easier for people to wear if you actually want them to wear? So that's what's going to start happening. People are going to make those dresses maybe easier. Before you know it, when you come back 200 years from now, you won't recognize what people are wearing. People will be wearing their own shit.
And I think we're going to move away from, I think we're going to enter, like, you know how there's Banyoro culture, Batoro culture, Baganda culture, but now it's going to become African culture. You know, like how you hear
Ugandan culture.
I don't think there's oh yes, let me tell you, it's like when you go abroad, you know how we go and they serve tea and scones, you're either Ghanaian.
Where's the soup?
You're like,
that's a really
have
soup
these people
one.
eaten? Do you understand? Like we all know.
When KFC came and
we
like,
all
what's
like
this?
anyone, whether they are Southern Africa, Western Africa, we are all the same.
We have things that are homogeneous to us.
You can say things that everyone in Africa will be like, are you talking about us? Are you talking about our country?
Thank you. Even when you hear African American women saying, as in how they treat their children, they're like, you don't talk. We are like that. It's you don't talk. So I feel like we are moving more to that. Yeah.
Okay. So
me, my thing that I think we should drop, and they're both intertwined. I think we need to drop, and I probably said it before, we need to drop the whole thing of identifying people's intelligence by how they did in school. We need to move on from that practice.
We must listen to that.
We need to move on from that practice, because so that means that even the way we interview, even the way you understand, just because you got 4 A's doesn't make you brilliant. Just because you are, I don't know what, you just know how to pass exams. You just know how to pass exams, you did well.
You know how to signal that you went somewhere.
Yes, it contributes. I don't take, first of all, I'm not on that WhatsApp
group. It's not nothing.
That's what always disturbing us. What always say, students will always work for C students. I don't like them. I'm like, we are also trying. We find all the students.
Are you seeing the students? They're struggling now.
We are pissed. They're like,
these who sees.
Look for any student who is making their
even look for them. Where are they?
Where are they?
Students, where are they?
After having you to work hard.
Are they students? Where are they? That these students are the richest. So where are they?
Who are the students that they are laboring?
I don't like those things. But
thank you, students.
I think that it signals something, but if I was to even give it a percentage, I would give it like 20-30%. In terms of how intelligent a person is. And so I think that like how you did in school, I feel like it shows maybe like 20-30% of how intelligent you are. But I think that we need to allow ourselves to experience people, right? To be able to judge whether they're intelligent or not. So when I receive a CV and I'm going to interview you, when I receive a CV and I'm going to interview you, your papers, I'm like, maybe it will help in shortlisting and I don't know what, but then I should be open-minded to you who got 4 A's and to the other one who got 4 E's. I think
that depends on where you work. For
example, we are dropping, but let me give you this as an example.
Let me give you as an example, and mine is a live example. There are some institutions that want compliant people. It's not so much about intelligence. For example, my employer. You'll find that there are traditional or conservative institutions that need a certain kind of student. When I was getting employed in the bank, they only employed from certain schools.
I've also had
and certain degrees from certain schools. Why? Because they know that our traditional schools of Namagonga, Gayaza, Budo, Namiryango, Mbara High, Ntare, Bweranyanji, Nabdingo, that you see my problem where I've come. You see those things where you start thanking people. Mary Hill. I've forgotten Mary Hill.
What's wrong with you?
What's Chitende?
Mom, they're arguing. They're trying to beat. Mom is Chitende, you're working hard.
Okay.
Namasangalias. The other one.
I'm not talking about schools which are doing well. I'm talking about that traditional school. They broke us.
Schools.
They broke us, so we are more compliant than other other people are wild. When they bring an idea and people are not for it, people are saying we are not doing it.
Yeah.
But when they introduced an idea to the Gayaza girl and the
Say yes,
Bodonian
council.
board, we're like, okay, let's see how to make it
Yeah.
work. So there are certain institutions that will always rely on those things. Do you know that Bank of Uganda only opened up to hire outside Makerere University?
Recently.
Just recently.
Yeah.
Because when people go to other universities, now they start thinking,
God
their
knows.
minds start opening up. But
They're
when you go through
innovating.
these traditional schools, then you go to Makerere. They are innovative,
But you see,
they are creative.
but you see, Pumla, that's my point. That's my point.
Yes.
We need to
So you
drop
talk
that
to the
line.
employers, eh?
Yeah,
So we are talking to the
please, yeah, we're talking to the employers. That's what
You
we
a
do.
student, talk to
Yeah.
the Cs who hire. You talk to
No, you
them.
need to drop it. Let me tell you. I'll tell you. So when I remember when I was still in the law firm world.
Shit. Smack St. Mary's College.
Well,
I think you have an incentive to mention that one.
How could I
How
forget
could you
it?
forget?
Chigezi High.
no, but you're already inclusive, and you know me would have mentioned like
There's going to be a list at the
Three
bottom.
only.
yeah. I'm like when you said Barra High, I said wow.
The rest are discussion groups.
Anyway, no.
I know my school won't be mentioned. So
Alan,
I'm out of
yeah.
Please don't share with us. We don't want to embarrass you.
Yeah, secondary school.
Yes.
No, what was I saying?
Yeah,
What was I saying?
quadruple S.
You hadn't said.
I forgot.
You had failed to
Shaka,
learn.
you had started.
I had
What
started.
were you saying?
No, you were talking about employers.
Oh
have to
yeah,
be
when I was
innovators.
still, no, when I was still in the law firm world, right? All I knew was MOOC, right? I had just known MOOC and law school and all that. You guys, there is something about UCU law students. Oh my God, they are brilliant.
Okay.
They think differently.
Okay.
They like it's something. I feel like now MOOC had watered down, right? And every time like you need a sharp, I don't know what was the UCU students. But I have a friend who went to UCU and she was the best. Brilliant.
That law?
So yeah, law school.
I was told that their law.
It's fantastic.
program
It's,
is really
fantastic.
good.
But she applied to get a master's in these, I don't know what, in these Ivy League schools
Okay.
for I
Didn't
don't know how long.
recognize it.
And she failed because they're like, what is UC?
Oh,
It's not
All
on
they
their
know is
list.
Makerere.
that's true.
And I'm like, the number of Makerere students
is
they
true,
are
actually.
getting that
Even
are wasting
scholarship,
their
When you
time.
look at scholarships,
They don't know.
They don't know the people who are wasting
don't
their
know the
time.
people who are
Yeah,
wasting
so
their time.
I feel like it should be
So
more.
we
You
need
should
to-
actually genuinely read the personal statement, and it
Okay,
makes sense.
sense.
And you get like you need
But also
to
I have a
judge
problem with
an
that personal
individual as they
statement
are.
because
People
now, like
forge.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
no, it's not about forge. Okay, now it's really easy to, but because I can see through a personal statement,
Yeah.
but people don't know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of the people we're talking about went to those schools where it was not cultivated.
Yeah.
So while the magazine may be inside, they may be able to, because written word and spoken word are different.
different.
So if I give you a chance in an oral interview, you might pass
Yeah.
it. But if I read your personal statement,
Yeah.
you may
So
just
it's
not
coming
be able
across.
to express yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not feeling you. I'm
Yeah.
not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like me, I've read people's, because since I got my scholarship,
Yeah.
every year annually,
People give you.
give me to help them,
Yeah.
and I can literally see
Yeah.
that this type of person,
Will
right,
get.
the type of personal statement that
That
those
will
people
get.
want,
Yeah.
and you can trace back the roots
Yeah.
to where they went to school
Yeah.
and how they did
Yeah.
in those schools. So some of these things, but
Yeah.
as we are PPJ, we are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we are
the
breaking
mindset
that generational
changes.
curse.
We are breaking the generation.
We are
curse.
trying.
So maybe
Not
people
everyone
can
who went
think
to
about
Gayaza
it.
and got 4 A's is the
Yeah,
sharpest
where are they?
person.
Who are they? Who
Ah,
was
the
they?
Togeza.
Where are they now?
Balance.
Where can they be now?
Those girls. Who knows where they are?
Yeah.
Where they could they be? God knows where are they?
Yes, Alan, do you have a...
just to add on that, one thing I appreciate about like the creative side of things,
Yeah.
no one cares about where
Yeah.
you went to school.
Yeah. It's
No
about
one
the product.
even asks for your CV. No one
This is
asks
true.
for this,
Yeah.
anything like
It's the
that.
Actually, in the
product.
creative world,
I
it is
think
this.
even-
It is us who are problematic.
95% of creatives don't even have their paper. So
Yeah.
if you ask them for where is your PLE,
They'll ask you what
anything
you're
like
talking
that.
about.
But at the end of the day, it's about like, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
How are you willing to put in the time? Are you
Yeah.
willing to put in the work?
Yeah.
Are you willing to be creative? Because we even have people now who are dying because they're just copying templates.
Yeah.
And with AI and like things like Canva, it's not helping. People
Yeah.
just like templates are there. But there are those who are still like creative from the
Yeah.
source, pull things down from.
Yeah.
Okay, my thing, I don't know if we are ready to transition
To
mine,
that.
It's okay.
because I feel like mine is going
Yeah,
to
if
be
we
a
can
bit-
leave Kwanjula.
Yours is a bit controversial.
Yeah, mine is gender double standards.
Go on. I like
You've
this.
opened
We
the
are
door.
ready.
Yeah,
Tell us more.
double standards, like thinking that this, of course, men are supposed to do this, women are supposed to do this.
Okay.
But one thing I'm, it's going to be
Jordan
weird.
said-
It's going to be weird if I'm passionate about this one. We can dive into the other roles. You guys can
It's
help
okay.
contribute.
Go on.
But the biggest issue I have is when it comes to body count.
Oh.
Girl, you're
So
gone so far.
apparently, if a guy,
I thought we were going to start in
I didn't know if we were ready to go here, but we are there.
Okay.
I have an issue with guys who say for them they can have a body count of 30, and that's fine because they are men.
Yeah.
And apparently men to them sex doesn't infect them that much.
Kumbe.
But then if a girl has a body count of 10, 15, apparently this is a woman I can never marry, I can never put in a house and stuff like that. So I mean that's.
I have nothing.
But what do you think about it? For you, like, where do you think it stems from, and why do you think that is no longer shouldn't serve us anymore? Like, what's the background? Why do you think people think?
So it's two ways. There are those who think that, of course, your person has been shared by very many people.
Okay.
But again, it's okay for you to have that standard if you also have a low one. My issue is those who also have high.
But then they want low.
You want someone who
usually the high is one who wants low.
The high wants what?
Yeah, they're low. When they come for other people, but for them, they're
for them, they're like things like that. So think about like women who have had, let me say, 8 and above. Apparently, they're treated like maybe these are all relationships you've been in and they have failed, so you could be the problem. That's one whereby it's like from a character perspective, right? It could be a problem. Or these relationships are those who say like maybe you are a hoe, you're giving it out, serving, dishing, all those other things. And I believe you could have been one, right? Maybe you were one.
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Is there anything
There's nothing wrong with being a
like,
hoe.
there's nothing wrong with being a hoe. There's nothing wrong with changing your color.
I recently came from enjoying a trip.
Yeah. I believe that all relationships, if you're starting, just give yourselves what? The slate.
Clean slate.
Clean slate.
There are some slates
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Has it ever bothered you?
Body count.
Even though it may not bother you now, but has it ever bothered you that
Is
there a number that you can hear and then you go,
Alan, good
Because
morning.
there's a number. It doesn't matter, but there's a number.
No, like even when I was dating and stuff like that, I don't think there's a number that can scare me because it's all about like who are you when you've walked
I
into
tell
the
you
room?
mine, lol. You're sure you can never be scared? I don't know it anymore. I
No,
don't
the
know.
question is like who,
I lost count.
the question is who are
That's why she's never
we used
unstigmatized.
to have a discussion. We have a very close-knit group of friends. They know themselves. We would come together every quarter to review our body count.
The numbers.
And then they'll be the ones who have to remind me sometimes.
They're like, what about
They're like, do you
Remember the other? I'm like, hey, go see. Remember that one we had him.
That one was a mere beep.
Guy can't remember shit. I'm like, hey, I think I slept with that guy. Then they come and they give you a WhatsApp message.
What you said?
On this day, where are you?
Are you sure you slept with that guy? Are you sure? Are you sure that you did that thing you could never forget?
Yeah, because so for me it would be an issue. How about Joe? How about you? Would body count be like a thing?
It used to be.
To
but
you.
only because I was amongst people for whom they would make it an issue. Like let's say we're all known, then I'm like, pardon me if there's like, Mananga, that one's number is very high. Then I'm talking to you. To me, it doesn't really make sense, but I can't ignore the fact that people are going to start going.
What number would disturb you, Joe?
Like when I was
Over how
when I was
many?
19, I had yet to, you know,
Indulge.
what was it?
In natural obligations.
And blue bean.
And
Black bean. Yeah, the black beans too. I had it indulged. So I remember talking to this person, and then she said, "Oh, do you worry about those things?" I was like, "No, it just means you have experience." Then I was just curious. I was like, "What number?" Like 26. So I went,
she had banged 26
we are
people.
both at campus. No, there was just a part of me that was like, the logistics are quite.
For that time
Yeah,
period.
Patricia was very clever. I was like, can you have time for books and to
also
book other things?
activity.
Yeah, it was. I was just curious, and it actually made me intimidated. I was like, now this is someone who
I think
pulled
at
the
that
reverse
point,
kangaroo, and I'm like, chochichi? I don't.
Oh, at that
know.
time you were still a virgin.
At that time, I didn't know, so I was intimidated.
But
by
now
it.
what would disturb
But
you?
now I think it's. You asked where it comes from.
Yeah.
I think it comes from that thing of you need to find out who your progeny is, because of the way property goes down from father to children. You're probably like, I need to now find out. Now,
You're listening. Do you know what progeny means? Have you understood what I
I know, she's telling me to find out for
For her,
myself.
she was laughing, but he's there looking. Progeny.
Progeny.
Yeah, progeny.
You guys
they're
you've
children.
understood different things. What is progeny?
Your
refers to
children.
offspring.
That people
Kasi, why
come
don't-
from your
What
reproduction.
was wrong with saying that?
No, because you can have children who are not your progeny. I can
Well, how
adopt
in
a
stage are
child.
your progeny?
Genetically, you're
That's
related.
how we shall remember. So we have to remember Progenic by force by fire. Offspring, descendant.
Okay,
I'm going to land this point whether it kills me.
Okay, we are sorry. We are sorry.
Now, the point is,
As a
male
group.
culture is actually very anti-male. I realize that the
That
Red Pill
I
movement
agree.
is very anti-male because we keep blaming women, but everything you blame a woman
I
for is
agree.
if another man gets involved, like how can another man raise my child? How
I
can
agree.
another man touch her? So it's like we hate ourselves, but we don't realize that we are making ourselves something that soils women. So I was like, how is it that the fact that she's had multiple relationships be an issue? I remember asking these guys,
Yeah.
does body count if she's been with women? Like, no.
And people have.
Imagine.
It's like, yeah, people are
Members.
anti-gay. And then
People are
like,
telling
no,
you.
but I mean, for women, we are okay. So there's a weird gendered aspect to it. And I think for guys, it's that every time you get someone to sleep with you, you've done something great. Because we are taught they're not really interested in sex. But if you
there's
persuade
that.
her, you've gotten the props. So you can walk around like, yeah, I remember in school, there was a kid who was, it was announced to us that he had slept with a teacher.
A guy had slept with
Yeah, a guy had slept
female
with one
teacher.
of these student teachers who had come to,
okay.
and she was like 2 years
Hey,
older. He got
my
props.
guy.
His hand nearly broke from all the high fives he was getting. Ooh, Ananga, you. Now I thought about
But
the
if the
reverse.
same is
If
done
it was
to
a
a woman,
male teacher,
He would be in jail.
you've taken her innocence. You have
Yeah.
destroyed her. You've deflowered. So there's that language which is, you're trying to protect something. I'm trying to get it. So if I get it, I've won. I've gotten the esteem. But if you've been giving it away, it's like you've been that soul ties thing. I think I've never had a man say my soul ties are finishing.
I had that. We had that conversation, right? I met with Joel. And
There's
we
no
were-
guy saying all these soul ties are taking
No,
away.
but you see, Joel, because we talked about soul ties, I decided to have this conversation with a friend of mine who is also on that WhatsApp group, who's in that whole body count doesn't really matter. It's a guy, and for him, it's like body count doesn't over matter. So I was like, have you ever heard of soul ties? And do you believe in? Because I remember when we talked about it, we're like, okay, what is soul ties? It just means that you
explain
are.
soul ties.
Yeah, of course, from a spiritual perspective, they say whoever you sleep with, you get some kind of spiritual connection, right? I don't know.
never positive. You never
Yeah,
get
I
the
think
ability
it
to
comes
make money.
from. Oh yeah. There's I think a verse that says that don't you know that whoever you join yourself with, you become one with the person, something like that. So I think that's where soul ties came from. So, but it was just a general statement. No one has ever explained what are the effects of this soul tie-ness. Like what does it mean?
And the salvation not lifted.
And so when we were talking with Joel, we were talking about, because he was like, for him, as soon as he has a baby that she's saying soul ties, he's like, this chick. As in he feels like she's too, you feel like she's.
No, I want to unpack it because when
Like
you say
she's too
soul tie,
much.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And for me, what I've gotten that might make sense is that because I've been with you, there's a certain vulnerability I've shared with you.
Yeah.
There's a certain moment or a shared experience
Yeah.
that I'm going to carry with me. And I think I am.
Yeah, that's what the person said as well.
No, so I think that's it, but I don't think it's controlling me.
No,
Other people
I'm
forget.
carrying with me someone I don't even remember. How can I be carrying? Can I be carrying anything with me I can't remember? So
You know those things when you just remember and start laughing? Those moments. Oh, I need to remember this. Which was there
am
the
I
whole time.
carrying?
It's there. Henry is
So are
there.
you saying just sex, or are you also saying relationship?
So what I'm saying
No,
is I don't think
sex.
it's
They're
sex.
saying they're saying that whoever you have sex with, there is something that you carry with you. Because
And
the
I think it's the relationship.
bag that
to the
you
sex.
have, you're carrying
You're carrying a whole truckload of individuals. Oh, that one is carrying a whole
Maybe
village.
sometimes I remember my back can be hurting sometimes.
where you are carrying the whole thing.
Yusuf is now like.
Do you remember me? Do you remember that time? Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
never
soul
really
tie is
had
not the
it.
soulmate. Soulmate is different.
of course, soul tie
different.
is it has a
It's just-
negative thing,
It's just
right?
words thrown.
Yeah, but I think we
thrown
just have
around.
a very moralistic attitude towards sex.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
think
still
we should,
so
though.
judgmental. Like even the fact that they're going to think you're a hoe.
Yeah.
I've never known hoes to not bring happiness.
Ah,
Who are they
It's
hurt?
their primary.
yeah, and I think it's maybe also that thing. It's rooted mostly in people don't realize that women are hunters too.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
like you have to be
it's
docile.
that-
You have to be like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And
So I
I'm
think
going
when
to
a man
take your
thinks
innocence.
about it and he's been raised to believe that men are hunters and women are
There you
pursued,
go. There you go.
it's his way of saying, it's like, how can you allow all these men? Like, don't you have a standard? Like, you're just allowing
what women are supposed
everyone,
to
you know?
do.
Yeah. For them, they don't realize that in certain situations, it's me who wants, I pursued, like I hunted.
I'm very sure
you
everyone
know.
I've ever been with, she's the one who decided it before me. Yeah,
And that
I thought it
happens
was
a
my
lot.
idea, but they were like this one.
And that
yeah.
happens a lot.
Just led me along the way.
Okay, so
suggest
now that we've all shared our top
things.
tier practices that we think we need to reconsider because they don't serve us anymore, we actually shared on our social media pages and asked you guys, what are those traditions or societal practices that you think we need to include? So we got quite a few. Personally, I got 186 responses, but many of them were similar. And a large number was talking about the weddings. There was a lot to do with with weddings, kuchala, kwanjula, that whole ceremony.
Yeah,
a
me too.
big bunch
Bride
of them.
price.
Yeah, so I just want to go through. So because we're not going to discuss them, we're just going to go through them, and then you guys can say if you do believe, if you feel it's nuanced, you can say, you know, there's this, there's that, there's the other. So I just want to go through a few of mine, and then you guys can. There was someone said, one practice that we need to release is not allowing couples to live together before they get married. Cohabitation.
I don't agree.
You don't agree, yeah? Okay,
shouldn't
guys,
allow it.
discuss in the comment section.
Sorry?
We shouldn't allow it.
I don't agree.
Cohabitation. Yeah, now you guys are going to discuss in the
what
comment
sounds
section.
like. Okay.
As we don't have time to discuss, our time is almost over. Yeah. Yeah. So I find it really nuanced and they're talking to me. So if someone is talking to you, I guess that they are talking to you. Yeah. So me, this person who sent this is talking to me because I'm also a bit cohabitation.
You don't get it.
I don't get it. I only get it in places where there's a legal framework that is protective of it, which is not in Uganda.
Which we need to have.
Which we need to have. The C-section versus vaginal birth wars. Vaginal birth wars. That we need to
So unnecessary.
to release.
As if you're not a real woman.
Kugumaring in marriage.
Dear
Because why?
People are struggling.
Nuance.
Where
Did you comment
the
on your own?
longevity of your marriage doesn't mean it was
nuance.
great.
It's new.
Pamela, did you comment on your own post? That sounds like you kugumaring in marriage.
She was there
No,
going
no.
back.
You're the one who answered.
You're there looking in and asking yourself.
No, I have it. It's there. Kugumaring. Because what the hell? They even put on what the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah. All women must bear children. Have to bear children. Yeah. Of course. Having kids with the expectation that they will take care of you financially.
Dear.
That one, I felt like it's me who wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one we are all we are not on that
we're not
train.
on that
So also that one covers the black tax, but black tax is a little nuanced. But this one,
Yeah.
is,
What we're going to do when we're old?
giving counsels and gomeses to relatives you have never met on introductions.
Generally, just chill introduction.
All those topics.
Okay, parents rejecting our partners because they are from a different tribe or religion.
Weak.
It's so silly.
weak.
Yeah, guys, can we release that? Okay, prioritizing boy children over girls when it comes to property and decision making. So I had a lot about this, about inheritance, why people think it's males only who should inherit, and why it's only boys who are included in decision making, about and continuity and succession
That stuff
plans.
still exists.
And yet the law was
Of
changed.
our
Don't you remember
generation,
even the law
of
was
our
changed?
generation.
It's them
No,
with
no,
people
no.
that you know.
Like Pumlanga, they listen to some more than they listen to you.
Yeah.
Like this kind of.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that in my home that's really educated and exposed,
It's still
It's like
lingers.
they would listen
It
to my
lingers.
brother
It lingers.
before they listened to me.
Wow.
They would discuss with me and take my opinion, but if my brother came and said something, I know for a fact.
That's
One time
They
I
would
went
take his opinion over
I went to
mine.
Karamoja with a lady from one of the UN organizations,
Yeah.
and the program was hers. So she was talking to them about the program.
Yeah.
I was on the side, and they kept saying, "Madam, we have had, but you, do you also have something to say?" On one, like 3 times. They were like, "Does the man have something to say?" Because they were like, they didn't feel like the woman is the one who should be addressing them. So it's,
Okay,
say
something that we
bye-bye
need
to that
to
one.
release because it no longer serves us is Okchali and Siko.
we already
It
tried.
is called pooling, which is genital modification. The modification of women's labia.
Generally, everything. Man and the women will suffer.
Guys,
they
we are
pull
sorry,
you, then
but
they
that
cut you
one
in some
is-
cultures.
Yeah, and also I
become
also got
a
that. And this one,
communal
and this one,
subject.
I actually. So what I did for many of these submissions, I was putting it against culture because I cannot speak to certain things if they're deeply rooted in your culture.
Yeah.
And then me, I'm coming and telling you, don't do it.
Yeah.
So I would put a name and see what they've written, and I'm like, is this some Uganda telling people that women need to stop kneeling down?
Yeah.
Or Mutoro? Then that one I would take. But if it is someone from a different culture, I was like, you can't release what is not of you, what you've not been taught.
Yeah.
So if you've been taught and it's what you and you're saying, please release us.
Yeah.
I also got a lot of that Banana. Can't we respect our elders and our husbands while standing?
Yeah.
Why are we
It's
still
possible.
kneeling down?
Yeah.
That was to Baganda and Batoro.
Yeah.
Are there other cultures
Even
like you?
Banyoro.
Even Banyoro, yeah. Banyoro, Batoro, Baganda.
Yeah.
The
But can we
Bagundi
stop?
generally.
Can we stop? Yeah.
Like what Joel has said, your body should not be a communal subject.
We dictate so much.
And as
about
I sip
women's
my drink, there was this
appearance.
one. Excessive drinking in the name of enjoyment. We drink like the breweries are closing tomorrow.
Dear, let's release it.
Let's release it. Banana, you saw this the
country
policy
will
recommendations of Kenya of raising their drinking age, legal age to 21
21.
from
And people are
18.
making noise about
And
it.
so, of course, even me, I'll be up in arms. Auntie, us, us, they can't allow those things because our regime needs us confused. They need our minds a little
to be a
nulled.
bit,
Otherwise, we'd be awake and always knowing what's going on and start fighting.
That's how they
That's why
manage
the Kenyans go to
Don't overthink.
Yeah.
Drink.
Yeah.
Whenever we reach here, Alan serves us booze. Why?
Immediately to confuse us.
Why?
When we
Confuse
begin
us.
revolutionary things,
He
gender
doesn't
wars,
even
who
give
should
us
pay the
mics.
bill?
He doesn't even give us
The first
mics. He
thing,
gives us
drinks.
booze to
You know,
confuse us.
on that, all my things were Kwadula, what bride price, what there's only one person who said
Bride price also came
bride
out very
price,
strong.
Yeah,
as
mine
well.
were like leave bride
leave
price.
bride price
Recently, I
alone.
told people how for my intro.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't ask for bride price.
Yeah,
but
mine
he-
also didn't.
Yeah, but then he was like, no, because we're going to have, I don't know what function in the village, you just bring one cow. Okay. So that we cut it in that one cow, I almost cried about it.
Yeah.
I said, Daddy, how can you ask him for one cow? How can you, so I was telling my friends recently, they laughed, they said, they gave you away for one cow. They're like, you're so, as in like, for them, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I told all my
But
husbands,
bride
like,
price,
Yeah.
the one of bride price and dowry. I know also the background of dowry and bride price. It's just that it has now become transactional.
Yeah.
That's where the problem has been.
Became
But
commodified.
Commodified, yes. That one, I know that word.
I know.
Commodified.
Na yes, sequestered.
Sequestered.
Progenic. Teja. Yeah,
That's what
remember Progenic?
Teja. Okay, that one now we'll never forget. That bride price was mainly because for appreciation. Because the culture says, which is not really maybe happening that much anymore. So, and I think maybe that's where we need to say, does it still serve us? It was an appreciation of the girl child, of the man coming to a home and saying, I'm taking your daughter away. Because those days they would literally take you away from the home.
Yeah.
So two things would happen. They would take you away from the home. And because it's the girl I've chosen, I'm thanking your parents. But I get, thank you so much
Yeah.
for raising this lovely girl, for her values and everything. Like, it was literally appreciation. Full stop.
Yeah.
You would take her away and they would not see their families
Yeah.
for long periods.
Yeah.
Even some would never
Yeah.
go. They will take you to another village.
Yeah.
Remember us in Uganda, it was a clan issue.
Yeah.
So literally the families would have to be really far away from each other. So it was like, because I'm taking your daughter away, I'm just
Let me
appreciating you,
appreciate,
let me help you. And also because in that time, children were used as labor.
Yeah.
So if I take this girl away, and remember it's girls used to work.
Let me give you some.
So let me give you something so that to replace that labor in
Yeah.
monetary that you maybe have to get oxen.
Yeah.
You need maybe money to hire people on your land. But now you come from an apartment, no one is working for you, and you still want to pay dowry, like price, as in what is it for? So I believe that one is nuanced. It's just that people have made it transactional.
Yeah.
And that's where the issue is.
Shami, can I add to that?
Yeah.
In part of that, it's also that obligations that you used to have back then were not ones you could settle. We
Okay.
quantify debt by putting into money. Like, say,
Yeah.
if I asked you help me move my house, as a friend, you come and help me. If I paid you, I'm trying to say I have now gotten rid of that obligation. I have paid you this amount, which is equal to the amount of labor you gave.
Yeah.
But at least for me, the way I understand it, it is, I'm showing you appreciation. It can never match the value of the person that
This is
I'm
true.
taking.
Yeah.
This is
Our
true.
obligation remains. Meaning, next time those guys come to visit, they'll also be like, you know what, you gave us cows, let me give you this. You always have to have something in your debt Which is why I remember the first time I paid for something in the village, someone was very offended. They were
Because
like,
you paid
"As
the
in, you mean
full
you don't
price."
have an obligation with me? You want to cut off this relationship? So the relationship is kept by, we are always giving each other something. You never quite finish the obligation. So now when you commodify something, someone's going, my daughter went to school. And you know, like even in Nigeria, they have those buy price calculators. She went to school, she speaks English, blah, 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 blah. This is how much I'm supposed to get. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, but I was telling you. So mine were all that. But yesterday I had this conversation with Mr. K, with my husband, and we were talking about. I was like,
Mr.
what?
K.
Why I call him Mr. K? I'm like, what have you dropped? Like, what thingy do you feel like you've dropped that no longer serves you? And I was quite surprised. He was like,
Rice in the rice
he's just
cooker.
Exactly
That what?
rice in
That
the rice
what?
cooker. He's like,
Okay.
He's such a Uganda man.
Yeah, he you know, at campus we had the longest argument because I think we were talking about gender roles, right?
Yeah.
And so for him, he said he cannot imagine that his wife can make for him rice in a rice cooker. Like, what kind of, you guys are,
None of my answers
we,
are
you know,
solid
when
with
quarrels,
this.
I built on, I'm like, so you expect that, meanwhile we are not dating,
Damn.
but the argument is so passionate.
We were discussing the
We were
idea.
discussing the future. I'm like, so you expect that person,
Person.
I mean, you expect me. I'm like,
That person come from the law firm. And like, I am going to
that
work in
person who
the
was
future.
from the law firm has more than even
I think being a top student in Namagunda, and then they're going to do this for you.
Yeah, he's like, yes.
Oh, sorry,
He's
Harvard.
like, yes, I
Harvard.
expect that person to cook. I don't,
They're
like,
even weeping. How can you
yes,
think
so we
that?
had such, and then he told me, I'll never forget, I think we had just, those days we had just gotten married. He comes to the fridge and he opens and he's like, babe, what's this? I'm like, that's matoke. He's like, so who peeled it? I'm like, oh, I got it from the market peeled. He almost peeled the other side. He was like,
Abomination.
he's like, so what do you do? I told him, I go, I tell the woman, make sure you've watered it. So I'm like, even you when you're going to the market, make sure you tell the woman, because he used to go to the market those days. I'm like, make sure you tell the woman to water it. He could not believe. He's like, so how does this matoke taste? I'm like, he will test it tomorrow. You know.
Yeah.
And then even greens, he's like, they chop them for us. Like he was in so much shock. Sorry,
He's
but
sending
he
you
was
things.
saying,
Sorry,
I
baby
know.
Where he's like quiet.
Yeah.
He's saying all things.
Yeah, but I
It's
there's a
so
soul
tight.
tie there that's telling me that I have a soul look. So look, really. Anyway,
Some water there.
what I will help. I'm like, beer, they talking.
But Mr. K is strong. But
Yeah, so he was telling me that he thinks that he has dropped that thought process because he feels that that you should experience the best version of your person.
Okay.
So he's like, he
Unencumbered.
likes to experience, he enjoys the intellectual part of me and the rested normal part of me more than matoke.
Yeah.
More than, so he's like, he has really dropped all he's like, even a stay-at-home mom should have help. Because it's like you should expect.
He's not talking to you as
yeah,
his
he's
wife,
like,
not an abstract
yeah, he's like,
person
I
who's
want
my
to
wife.
come home and find a person, right? Who
He's
is
happy
a
that I'm
normal,
home.
who's a normal human being.
Mzee has come.
Yeah.
It's time to start
It
needing.
reminded me of something that I think people should release, especially men who treat other people better than they treat their wives and girlfriends.
Oh, I know what you mean.
100%.
You know those people, you
You
see
see, they're
the
very kind, yeah, and then when they are home.
Yeah, when they are home, they bring the worst versions of themselves home, and then they say, you know, home is where I can now just be myself. No, come back home and pretend.
Your
Come back
employer
home and
thinks you're
pretend to
happy.
me. Yeah. When you go and even talk about the guy, he's like, that guy, he's the best guy.
so funny.
He's so funny.
He's so
He's so
giving.
he has never cracked a joke at your home.
Yeah.
He comes home, he's always on the phone.
People are
Or he's harsh to
Yeah.
the kids.
At
People
work
are
he's
quiet, they
dancing,
can't
wah,
talk.
wah, wah.
Yeah, he has he's the one in the At home, he's a strict man, strict father, strict. Yeah, I've seen those people.
That
It's bad man. Actually,
is
I dated
vagina.
someone like that. I dated someone like that. It was the worst experience. Inga, you cannot minimize anyone that guy is like that. Inga, it's you, Pumla. I tell me the way I am.
Yeah.
Okay, me, I know usually the problem, but in that case, I was not the
No, I
problem.
had that conversation this week. A friend of mine was telling me she left a WhatsApp group because she realized she was like all the guys that they were hanging with, guys they went to school with and all of that, like on the group, we are friends, we are what. And then she said whenever they go to like hang out, the boys are hanging with them as friends. Right? Okay. But their wives are sitting the other side, breastfeeding, dying, not being helped. Not sure. I was like, I'm not part of this. What's up? You're so nice to us, but we can see with our eyes that you're so fake to your person. She was like, I'm
they call other women honey darling. They call their women by their first names. As in, what's that? Prima, yeah. The other one they say, oh,
you know
honey.
What that is?
What is that?
Men are promised that if you just do the bare minimum, right? You get a job, you're a high-standing individual in society, your reward is you're going to get a woman of your own. To do all those things of your own. Who's going to be the one cooking for you, doing the things that please you. Which is why you find a border guy, for instance, right? May look at you and say, oh, in social standing, maybe in terms of your job, you're higher than me, but at least I'm a man. I will have someone at home. At home, the man is going to be like, this is my kingdom. And what be unto you when a man who doesn't know how to handle himself gets a kingdom? Because the people are going to suffer. That's how people go home and they beat their women, but they've never fought outside the home. They've never shown any violence. You're like, how could that guy do that? He's saving it for home.
True. Men, treat your wives and partners better. Okay, my last one.
Okay, last talk about the other genders.
Go on.
We are dropping those things of thinking it's only men who treat.
And you're going to say yours. What is the other flip side of that coin?
There's also women who
are nice to men outside.
Yes.
Everyone, and then when your husband comes in, you expect he can't be funny, he can't throw in jokes,
because
my man should be this, that.
As a man, where
you're right by the way.
Because why are you showing your legs to other people? You can't.
They are laughing at what in the wa, but they don't want their man to ever be the one to do what in the wa. You can allow Mr. Ken do what in the wa. But you're there on TikTok, what in the wa.
Yeah, to finish building the house in the village, you're there, what in the wa.
Okay, we planned also that one. I have two last ones. That one of Ozala D, Owasa D. Omwano muza kodi.
I know.
Yeah, which because we have an international audience means when are you giving birth, when are you getting married, and when are you adding when another child, when are you having another child. Yeah, can we release those conversations? This is the one I wanted to say most. Older folks not apologizing to younger ones, even when they are at fault. In my language, they said, "Omukulu tasobia." An elder can never be at fault.
So a parent should be able to say, "I'm sorry."
They should. Yeah. They should, and that one can start now because me, like my parents, now apologize and it's
do you really apologize to Progenic?
That one, do you have a choice with these kids of these days?
They know their rights.
My son comes to me and tells me that really wasn't right. I don't think you were mindful of my feelings. Yeah, and you have to say so. And then you have to sit down and agree and say, okay, what do you think? But don't you think this is where I was coming from? Yeah. But I didn't realize that it affected you that way. I'm really sorry about it. But I hope you also understand my point of view. And there are times when you can really be harsh to someone for nothing. Knowing, They me quickly. I even go and apologize before they tell me. Okay. There are times when you know you're bad. Yeah. Like your mother gave us some apologizing to do to Adam.
We said we are not talking to baby boomers.
Okay, you guys, can you share what you guys? I think most of us. If you can allow me this one for Uganda. I didn't want to talk about the marriages once anymore, but for Kwanjula.
Yeah, it comes.
Your mother raised you.
Yeah, she should. I also received that one.
She should
at
be
the
there.
Bar of the house and not attending the Kwanjula.
Remaining hidden.
She should sit in front with everybody else. So one thing that we need to release as a culture in Uganda, I don't know about other cultures, is the fact that women and mothers and her sisters are relegated to the back during traditional functions. It's not right. And someone who's told me Bahima, our Bahima relatives
stop suffocating us as we on the mat.
They talk too much. Can you stop giving speeches? This one told me she's a Mohima. She said, can you please tell my Bahima relatives to kindly reduce their speeches, the number of speeches, and the number of people speaking. Okay, over to you guys. What did you...
Joe, mine on bride price, I know there's someone who said we are paying our own bride price. What's your Can we release it? We are paying for ourselves.
I can said it. Yeah, she actually said in public that she paid her own bride price. Yeah. Women also stop paying your bride.
Yeah. All my things were Kwanjula bride price. What?
Is there anything that I haven't mentioned? That is on?
All of them. Apart the only one was I don't agree with her. But she, no. She said we should release sex before marriage, not having sex before marriage for the Christians.
What did she say specifically to Christians, or
I
just
know
generally
her,
as a
it's 'cause I
culture?
know her.
Okay.
It's because I know her,
And
so I
she's
know
Christian.
she's Christian, and she was saying.
What do you think about that as a Christian? Because of course, for me,
No, I think
I'm
go back
secular.
and watch.
What
our
if you're not
sex
going to get
episode.
married? Can you have sex?
But my views remain the same. I
okay,
think
okay,
there is
yeah,
a point in not having
Oh
it.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think watch our sex.
Yeah.
What was her reason? Okay. This
No,
is
she
just
just
big.
she didn't give me.
Is it premarital if you're not going to get married?
Is it premarital if you're not going to get married?
Because they always assume premarital sex, right?
It's
but in the
premarital because
Christian
marriage,
world-
not
not
premarital does not refer to the person. It is you before you get
Yes, what I'm
married.
saying.
So
if I am not going to get married,
Then
As
you
a
should be
human
celibate.
being,
Yeah. You should live celibate, I thought.
I
why?
agree.
Ah,
thought
natural
that-
yeah,
beings.
yeah.
That's how we agree with each
I'm
other.
not talking in the
that-
secular world. I'm talking about of the faith.
Yeah. So you should be celibate.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
is
shall we
that
test
not-
the
Yeah.
Is sex is not allowed before marriage in religion?
Kati ya Wapumla,
Is it
you will
not?
be caning everyone. You already told us. You would
That's why
be
you
there.
cannot be observed. That's why grace came to save all of us.
She told us before that.
Impossible.
If
It's
I would be
impossible.
dead,
Everyone
would just be looking for graves.
You told the person to come from where? UH. Where are you going?
What?
In the intimacy episode, where did you go? Which one? Mitchell. It was
Mitchell.
I thought UH. You see?
And I
The one
also
with the
have a UH. I have also a
You have a
UH.
UH person.
Yeah, I jumped over the gate. We entered and the gate was closed. It was 3 a.m. We climbed the wall to his room for sex.
Make
But
normalize
he knew
it.
it.
Normalize
Did
it.
he have a roommate?
No.
Okay, but wouldn't it?
He was of
Access
his
to
money.
Rolexes at,
He had taken me out to the club, come back.
Yeah.
I was on a break with my boyfriend. And, anyway.
As the story went on, more important things were coming out. I was on a break.
Joel, what are
Jesus.
yours? But
I'm not even going to change the thing. Okay. The first one was women being default, the ones who are going to do anything domestic, even in the workplace. The example given
I
was,
got that.
we're going to celebrate cake. Madam.
Yeah,
Whoever's going to cut,
yeah.
that kind of
Even
thing.
serving tea, I can never serve tea in any meeting. Even though I'm closest to that tea thing, I am so against it. Like when any man, if like you ask me for
Serve it
tea, I'll
yourself.
pass it. But if any man says, I'm like, how did you? I can't fight. I'm like, no, I'm triggered.
You know, women, they don't even ask them. They just automatically assume that
Yeah.
these people are
I
not,
can
let me
never-
help,
can
let me
never be-
serve.
Cutting cake.
Can never be
Cutting
me.
cake.
The other one is, oddly enough, we mentioned it. People who say it's not that deep anytime someone is talking about something that matters to them. So the example they gave is, why is it popular for us to celebrate not thinking too hard about things? My
Yeah,
response to them was,
that's a good
it's because
one.
there's a lot of stuff going on. So for you, it might show a lack of interest, but it doesn't mean that the topic isn't deep.
Okay.
Her point was, we don't go deep into things that really matter.
Matter.
And part of the reason they like the show is that they think we do that. So there was also a
Who is
compliment.
it?
Yeah, they think
We're
that we talk
quite
about
deep into
things.
things that matter. Why you've never talked about Palestine?
No, we're going to by the way, free
And
Palestine,
Gaza.
Sudan, Congo. There we
Okay.
go. Yeah, don't go to the UAE. The last one is about male-only inheritance. So this is also
That
talking
came
about the
strong.
fact that we trace lineage through the father. She thinks that both parents should be equally responsible. Like you say, I am my mother's child just as much as I am my father's child. So me saying I'm Mtoro because my dad's a Mtoro,
Yeah.
it's a convention. It can be changed.
I agree.
Yeah.
Abana baba ba musajja. You know that saying.
Meanwhile.
Which means
That you're
that
the
You're just a conduit.
women,
You're a channel.
children are for the man. But me, my only issue with that thing is I don't really care. Like for me, there are certain things which people say that I'm just like, who cares? People are saying them, let them say them. I mean that one, why have I struggled with it? It's because that child might not even be yours.
Only the
So
mother.
how, it's only the man. If anything, I feel like if
Abana
people were
baba
clever,
mukazi.
baba mchala,
Yeah.
because mchala yekaya mani,
Yeah.
abana for who they are.
Yeah.
The man
Talk to
doesn't
them.
know.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how someone
He's just
can
there
say
with
that.
faith. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alan, do you have some things that
I think I
came
had
to
two.
you?
Suffering in silence is strength. Yeah,
Kukumari.
the idea that enduring silently, like emotional
What's outside
pain, family
marriage?
issues, mental health struggles. What I've not told you guys is I actually met a fan of PPJ.
Okay.
Someone reached out to Joel
Okay.
and asked for Alan. Now,
Okay.
if someone doesn't ask for Pumla or Prima and ask for Alan, which means there's some things they're going through.
Oh,
But
yes.
I met up with her. We had a
true.
very good
You met?
conversation. Yes, we met up. with her. She came to my workplace where I work from.
What's your body count?
Okay, no, but
I'm kidding.
guys, back to what we do, right?
Yeah.
She said that she likes the fact that, for me, I easily open up about the things that no one else would open up about, right?
Okay.
Like the hardest and the hardest of things.
Okay.
That's something she was struggling with because
Yeah.
she's very beautiful, she looks nice, and she's in human rights, she helps people, but no one expects that she's going through things. You understand? So while you're helping others, sometimes it's hard because she couldn't open up about for herself what she's going through.
Yeah.
So we talked, we had a chat about how, who do you start opening up with, the kind of friends you have, start with your friends, let your friends know what you go through, don't be there and suffer in silence.
Agree.
If you're actually going through like serious mental health struggles, right?
Guys, that's not your cue for you to call Alan and ask for him.
I
later.
know, suffering it.
The other one is the what will people say culture.
Even us.
What will
Come on,
people say?
come
What
on.
will people say culture? Like being worried about what.
Banagamba
Yeah, so that stifles like individuality.
That one is nuanced because sometimes people need
There's
to
some people who need to be
you need to
told.
think about what
I
are
think
people
there is
going to say.
a level,
Yeah.
maybe.
Like this TikTok
But
thing
not-
is, I saw a friend, serious Muganda man with values, but he's a TikToker and he was like in the shower bathing. I was like, my friend, I think here now you of course.
I did want to see your nipple.
Yes, but I know some parents who raise their kids in a way of like, what will people say based off how you dress? Like that's why you couldn't like maybe plait your hair or have an afro or put on a certain kind of way your clothes because they will tell you what will people say about us. And that may have like strive for like your individuality, like you don't really know. So that's why we have grown ups who are living unfulfilled lives because they didn't get a chance to actually express who they actually are.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Okay, thank you guys. But you guys, anyway, I got too many guys. I wish we could do another segment.
You can send
but
some.
maybe
Give us two silly
maybe
ones.
one.
Time.
And then maybe one again that I saw was and maybe this one you can think about, and also in the comment section you can discuss it. Expecting people that have lost a loved one and are grieving to feed people.
Don't do it. Stop it.
But isn't that
Someone
our
told me they've come
culture?
to just distract you, so that you don't feel sad. But imagine you've lost
No,
someone.
my friend,
and
listen,
then-
my friend lost her mom, and we've been going there, and I'm just so not disturbed. Like I'm just like,
How much just to prepare and
like I can't
accommodate you
believe
guys?
this is what on that day that she lost her
People are
mom.
there.
As soon as we arrived, like now I was just worried. I'm like, what are we going to
At
do?
her
What
home.
at her home? Like when we went to her home, immediately she was in. Please make some scones, make some mandazi, make some. I'm like, how can you be thinking about scones when you've lost your mother? Your mother has died. You think
culture.
about scones and you're like, chai mutademu mujaja over mutademu
But did you
I'm
bring
like,
things?
Your mother has. We somehow brought things.
Yeah, actually, this is what the message should be.
Yeah.
When you're going
Make
to
it
visit
easy.
people
who have lost
someone, carry food, carry easy
Help
bites.
alleviate, yeah.
Go and order
Carry water,
sausages,
carry tea,
carry
carry-
samosas, carry water, carry
Yeah.
tea, carry
Yeah.
It will
things,
mean a lot.
so that they don't have to think. People
Yeah.
are doing that because now you're gathered at their
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
They can't feed you, but it comes from them because as a culture, you can't buy home.
You
You
can't
must
have
eat.
people around and you're not feeding them, yeah.
So we
I think
must.
so. Now, as we are, now the
Magandi.
people we are speaking to, when someone has
Somebody
lost
from-
somebody, you carry something,
Yeah.
carry things, or send them money that people can just order. No one should be going to the kitchen.
Yeah.
To prepare anything.
I agree.
Okay, but
That's
thank you
very
guys. This has been a
It was so
wholesome
nice.
episode.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, to you, our PPJA audience, all we need from you is to discuss what we have already shared.
Just for some money.
Okay. Discuss what we've already shared. Let us know what for you yourself. What are you holding on to and why? And what are you releasing and why? So until next time, we are
PPJ.
PPJ.